We interrupt your regular programming for a news flash about Microsoft Teams and NDI technologies for live events. This is network device interfaces where you can bring in audio and video from a Microsoft Teams meeting. Now, we've seen this released recently, but one thing that has escaped the wider community is the ability that we're going to show you today. We're going to cross live now to Laura Galloway, who's live on the Microsoft Ignite floor and exploring the event. And Laura is going to bring us a report direct over Microsoft Teams Mobile into our live event. Take it away, Laura.
Thank you, Daryl. Now, as you can see, I am here at Microsoft Ignite. I've also not only travelled to the event that is happening virtually, I'm virtually attending, but I've also travelled back in time to another time when we could travel. However, what I am demonstrating today is that you can come with me to the event floor, and via Microsoft Teams Mobile and the power of NDI, I can frame up and be seen in a live event so that you can enjoy what I see as I am a roving camera and a roving reporter. Now, this technology can be used in many different ways. I could be a CEO giving a live report from the shop floor or the factory floor within a factory. I could be visiting an event that we are running, and I could have multiple cameras like this, which could all be framed up and used within a live event. But as you can see, in the simplest form, this event can be brought to you live over a Microsoft Teams meeting, and I'm joining you from mobile. We'll cross back to Daryl in the newsroom. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Laura. That was an excellent report there, giving us a live coverage of Microsoft Ignite in its virtual form, and potentially months and months ago, even a year ago or so. But you did demonstrate the power of Microsoft Teams and NDI over a mobile. So thank you, Laura, and we'll see you again. Good night for now. Hi, this is Daryl as a Service from Modern Workplace Scenarios. What did we just see? We saw an example of a live event being produced using a Microsoft Teams meeting and using NDI technology. Now, NDI is our new capability to take an audio and a video source from a team meeting and use it within additional software like OBS to create our scenes and then create a live event. Now, we have seen some examples of this and some great creativity from the Microsoft community, but I wanted to show you another scenario using a Microsoft Teams mobile as a source. So what I tried to show you was an example of we could have someone join from a mobile, and you could then use that as the source and put it into your scene. This is not something that we can currently do within a regular Microsoft Teams live event. The kind of event where we join a pre-live meeting that is created using the live event workflow, and we invite our presenters and our producers in there, and we've got that 1 or 2 or 3 scenes which are kind of limited. We can't currently invite someone in via a Teams mobile, so what I want to do is just step through quickly and show you how I achieve this with the different scenes. So we're looking at the moment at our first scene, which is like the anchor person, our person who is introducing or handing over to someone who might be live on the spot with Microsoft Teams Mobile. And now this scene, I know I've got a ton of scenes down here, but I'm using one of my sources is set up as a separate scene altogether using the NDI source. And now if I right click on this and we'll have a look at the properties, I'm using the local audio and video NDI source from the Teams meeting as my audio. I'm not taking it directly from this microphone. The reason I do that is because it's going to be closer in time with the guest that I'm bringing in via the Microsoft Teams mobile, because they're both being presented over NDI. So in our Teams meeting right here, the NDI is turned on, and I can take this as the local source of myself for the live event and the scenes that I'm creating. The next scene that I'm using is where we're bringing in an overlay of the guest. And I am cheating a little. I'm taking a video loop that I took at Microsoft Ignite, and I'm trying to use that as the background, and it's nice that it's got a little bit of background noise there too, so it adds some authenticity. But if this was just someone joining from a Teams mobile, what we're going to do is bring Laura Galloway into the meeting via the team meeting that I'm currently running here. Now, she might have joined earlier and she could be just sitting there waiting. That's fine, we can produce that and take control of that, but in this case I'm going to call her in so that we can demonstrate that now. So we'll go into participants and we'll call Laura, and then we'll answer that call here. Now I'm going to hold it horizontal to begin with. Accept that. And just turn off the speaker or audio there. And we'll turn on video. So this is Laura as a video source within the team meeting, and she's available. Turn that audio source back off again. She's available to be able to be part of the scene that I'm creating within OBS. Let's go back over to OBS, and now you'll see that I'm able to use the mobile. We'll come over here so we can see it a bit better. You can see the effect of the green screen on my green phone case. And so I know it's a bit rough, and I'm doing this all within one room. I had hoped to be able to demonstrate this by doing this from work and running out on the street and going, look, here I am, live on the spot from somewhere. But here we go. You can tell it's a mobile. You can tell that I can take this mobile and I can maybe even flip the camera around. There you go, and show you what I'm seeing. And there we go, there's the scene from Daryl's office, Harding Ave, woohoo. And going back to that front-facing camera. So you get the idea. So with this scene, let me just drop this into a tripod. With this scene, what I'm able to do is I'm taking the NDI source from Laura, and it's just like we had with the other scenes we've seen with some of our other people in the tech community. It is just an NDI source, and like I took with my own source, if we go into the different sources available within the meeting, I can see that Laura Galloway is one of them because she's a participant in the meeting. Now I've set this up earlier so it's easy for me to just patch that through and create this call, but there it is. She's right there. Now going back to our, there we go, our scene there. So I'm just using an overlay, putting on a bit of a skin. I'm using chroma key to take all that sort of stuff out. You don't need to do that. I'm just trying to give you that sense that we're somewhere else and that this mobile person is on the street or on location. So we've got that, and the other source, of course, or the other scene is just cutting completely to our guest from Microsoft Teams via the mobile. So that way we can frame up, they can show us exactly what they're seeing, they can, take us around and, show us the rest of the floor. Yeah, I know it's not that exciting. But yeah, the goal here is to just show you that it's possible to bring a Microsoft Teams mobile attendee in a meeting in as an NDI source. So that's great. Those are some of the 3 scenes. I know there's probably a lot more detail I could go into, but I just wanted to show you what's possible within using Microsoft Teams to bring guests and people together. And don't forget, there is another source you may not have thought of. It's your Microsoft Teams mobile app. Think about the possibility of covering a live event in person, and you might even use your mobile client as multiple cameras if you're just trying to get a live on the spot rough feel of what's going on and try and use those as different camera sources. One thing I didn't cover off about Laura, like you can see in my sources here, I'm using my local video and my local audio. It's all coming through as an NDI source, and it's similar with Laura. As we have a look at guest only, as Laura speaks, it's picking up the audio from the, actually no it's not, it is, if I just unmute it now, right, so you'll see that. that bar's now bouncing around a lot more, and you can see that that's the audio source for LoRa, and it's going to be closer in sync with the content that is also coming from me, the local presenter. So we've got our mobile client, or our mobile attendee, and that's in sync with video and audio, and similarly with our meeting as we're joining from there. So those are a few tips about how to use NDI and Microsoft Teams Mobile to create a scene where you've got someone live on the spot. If you're keen to see more of this kind of content and keep up to date with other things to do with modern workplace scenarios, how to use Microsoft 365 technologies and other technologies for productivity, then do follow me, subscribe, set those notifications so that you know when I push these videos out, and enjoy. See you again soon.